This video documents how the implants that were placed in my body are able to remotely move my eyes for me. If you watch the video in its entirety, you will see how my eyes are noticeably moving around and that there are several hard blinks. Every time they blink, my eyes move in really hard, and then I instantly have energy running down my vagina. And they tell me how horny they are to these images, and that they're going to make some other group assume that I am horny to these without being able to tell the difference in how they are moving for me with the implants they placed on my occipital lobe, in my ear canals, and in my womb. They said that these items work together to move me like a puppet for the other group that is going to show up and not know that they have psychotronic weapons to move for me. They said that some other woman pretending she was me somewhere was able to set this up and make sure that nobody believes me that my husband held me in a relationship with him beyond my will and raped me and abused me every time he was home. They will make sure that nobody knows my husband is a sex addict by making me look like one. I also caught him in another act that I will speak of in later videos that I was going to turn him in for, and then immediately was knocked out with implants put in my entire body. And they say that some other group is going to assume that I am horny to these images and not be able to tell the difference in how they are moving me like a puppet. These are not natural movements, and that is why I taped this video with my eyes closed. They move my eyes in all different directions all day and blink my eyes all day long while saying how horny they are. No matter how hard I try to move my eyes on my own, I'm incapable. If they want to move my eyes to the left, I'm incapable of moving my eyes to the right. They have full control over my eye movements. One day, I was walking down a trail, watching the trail beneath me as it was moving, but my eyes suddenly acted like they were focused in on something, and they laughed how funny it is that this other group assumes I'm focused on these images. I said, how is the other group supposed to assume that when I'm not focused, assume that I'm focused on images when I'm not focused on anything as I'm walking down a trail while the objects I see are moving past me? There's no possible way for your eyes to focus in on a moving trail like that if it was still. But they said it didn't matter. The other group can't tell the difference. The terrorist group that placed the implants inside of my body said they are going to be moving my eyes for me this entire communication, but never told me what the communication is or how they illegally set it up. They will be moving me like a puppet so that another group that is watching me will assume that I am watching some kind of images. I have no idea what these images are supposed to be in any way at all. Apparently they said that I'm the only one that they've set up to look like a basket case that cannot see the images. They're supposed to be flashing them in front of my eyes for me to see, but I haven't seen one image this entire time for 6 years that they've been doing this to me. I think it's because I was born with brain damage to that part of my brain, so I'm pretty sure that's the reason I can't see their images. But this group said that it doesn't matter because someone already pretended they were me, and the other group believed them just simply because of the way I look. That's what they said was so funny about it, how just simply the way I look is why some other group believed them. They said that they are going to be moving my eyes for me like a puppet, so another group assumes that I am focused on their images. They said that moving my eyes for me makes me look like a lion Akhenaten, and that they designed this to make me look like a sexual psychopath for trying to turn my sexual psychopath husband in. The group said that since I tried to turn my husband in, that they're going to turn me into a sexual psychopath and no one will know the difference because of the way I look. They send forced thoughts to my head, move my eyes for me, and the items in my womb send energy down my vagina all day long. They said I shouldn't have tried to turn in a lion Akhenaten if I didn't want them to make me look like one, so that I can't turn him in and nobody ever finds out who a real lion Akhenaten is. They said they're going to keep manipulating my information for 7 years. They'll be walking, talking, and thinking and moving for me without anyone being able to detect how they are doing it. And then we can make up anything we want about you and they'll never figure out that we're the real lion Akhenatens. And then in 7 years, these items in your womb are going to work their way up and kill you, and it will look like a heart attack. But they will never know that we would do such a thing because they don't know the real reason we did this to you. They said at that point Nobody's going to give a crap about me. Nobody will ever look into it, and nobody will ever figure out the real reason they did this to me. They said first your husband is going to send you to hell for 7 years for trying to turn him in, and then we will literally kill you, and nobody will ever look into it at that point simply because of the way you look.